Communication Air.
Welcome to episode 81 of the Communication Air podcast, the community patch notes of the Do Review Scores Matter episode. And with us today, we have a returning special guest, NightCrawlr. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? NightCrawlr coming at you.
Wow, I've not heard that in a long time.
It has been a while.
I made sure I knew I was coming on, so I got the Lego back here. I got the shirt just to re-emphasize what my pick is for what the better game is, and it's Mario World.
Were you the first one that we asked?
I think so.
Yeah.
It only counts once. It doesn't count multiple times. That's the rules. But yeah, I mean, we haven't had.
Johnny has that Lego set too. He just won't put it
behind him.
I
haven't built it yet.
Oh,
I have so many Lego sets that are just backlogged right now.
Yep.
That's one of them. It's a really cool set. I do like that set.
Yeah.
I built the Fortnite llama. That was my most recent Lego set.
I think the Battle Bus was sold out when I was at Lego Store this last week.
Yeah, I have the Battle Bus. I think I didn't get the Peely or the Durr Burger.
The Durr Burger is kind of the least of all of that. But yeah, the Llama and the Battle Bus are the two coolest ones.
Well, welcome to the Lego episode. Also, this is like a Nintendo Powercast reunion.
Yeah.
It's been about a month or so. I don't remember last time. It was
beginning of
it was before
September, I think.
It was before Mario Party. I know that.
Yeah, I feel like the last time we were on was Echoes of Wisdom had just come out.
No, we missed that week. We didn't record.
Oh,
that
so
week.
we didn't.
So it was like the week prior, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody on Twitter keeps tweeting at me being like, "Yo, when are you gonna do an episode about Mario Party Jamboree?"
Fun game.
Yeah, I haven't played too much of it, but what review score would you give it, NightCrawlr?
I think an 8 sounds good.
Okay,
it's like a B. It's a B tier game, you know, a worthy of a B in school. It's 80%.
That's like a B minus.
I mean, if you've subscribed to the plus minus system.
I think like when at least when I was back in school, an 80 was a C. I think ours.
What?
I think ours got cut off.
here.
No, I think ours got cut off at a 85 or something.
Oh man, I would not have survived in that school.
I might be wrong. I honestly don't remember.
I didn't like it in college. Some classes, if you got a minus, you got less than, like, if you got a B minus, you got less than a 3.0 on your GPA. You got like a 2.7, but you didn't get a bonus for a B plus. So I was like, that's a horrible system.
Yeah, I don't.
No plus minus.
What was my GPA in college?
Guess what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Well, I mean, I think it does matter to get your foot in the door. I think, like, if you're looking for a job. But once you have a job, it's just like whatever. Yep. Because I think even the firm that I work for now, my GPA would not be high enough for them to hire me. Like if they went based off. Yeah, and I manage people. So
I was told that my GPA wasn't good enough to even get into a community college, and then I got into a 4-year. So like
they just wanted your
jokes
money,
on
man.
them.
They just anybody could get into any college. Like they could get into
really,
a state college, really into a state college.
The joke's on me because I got a BA in theater acting and directing. So you know, like I'm doing a lot with that.
What is this episode? Is random again. But review scores. Well, before we get into it, let's do some server maintenance. Make sure you leave a review on Apple, Spotify, 5-star review. We haven't had a written 5-star review in a bit, so make sure you write us a review. Just like review scores, they do matter, or they at least get us noticed. And the higher the review score on Spotify and Apple, the more likely somebody will listen to the episode. So make sure you're leaving 5-star reviews. Also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Nah, that's it. But yeah, so last week
we're not on Threads, not on Blue Sky, though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't even know. Can you set up multiple accounts on Blue Sky?
I don't know.
I downloaded Blue Sky. I haven't set it up.
Everybody
yet,
will be back within a week. Unless something happens, which might actually happen.
Just everyone
I
keep
feel like-
posting pictures of Elon as first lady, and you'll get banned and taken off the.
I feel like for me, like the only thing that's stopping me is if Nintendo goes to Blue Sky, the NBA goes to Blue Sky, if the Denver Nuggets go to Blue Sky, I'm like, I don't really need Twitter anymore.
I think you can get all that from Instagram if you really wanted, though.
That's true. I'm just never on Instagram.
I
noticed
don't
like
get on
all of
Instagram.
these apps, they're really fun, and then they do like a few things that just piss me off, and I'm like, well, I don't feel like going back to it again.
Or they sell out and there's ads just all over the place. Like
TikTok.
Like TikTok has
is
a
a
lot
big
of ads
one.
anymore. If I can't watch something at 2 times speed, I'm like, oh, it's sponsored, and I just keep moving.
Yeah, Instagram had the like, so and so commented on a photo that you're tagged in, and it's like, I don't need this notification. One, it's not even my photo, and two, they probably don't even know who I am, or this comment isn't even about me. Like, it was flooding the notifications.
It's social media. You're supposed to be social.
Yeah, no, and I get that, but like, it's hard to be social when you don't know the people. Like before, it was you were commenting on people's photos and like people that you followed, right? Like the timeline on every app was people that you followed, and now there's a For You page, and it's like it's just completely random, and you hardly ever see the people that you follow. Like the whole
TikTok
reason
actually did just change that. Now, before I couldn't see any of my friends on there. Like I never saw any of their content. But then like a couple weeks ago, they changed their algorithm.
You can click on and you'll just
yeah,
see
but
it now.
nobody ever does that. I just look on the For You page. Nobody looks on their following or friends. Like that's why they don't.
They put notifications down there now. There's little.
Well, it just shows like how many like people posted
how
a
many
video.
things you're ignoring.
Yeah, but they changed their algorithm, and now they put more of your friends' content into your For You page feed, which I like.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to watch only people I'm following. Like I want to discover new people as well.
You want it mixed in.
Yeah, but mix it in.
Sprinkling.
But that's all we're talking about. We got to talk about review scores. But okay,
Crawler.
so hold on. Update.
Yeah.
Well, Crawler, have you played Brothership?
I have pins for it, and I have the case for it right here. I put it back in my Switch last night, and I went to go play it, but then it like I took the first cannon. Like that's how far I've gotten off the like.
Oh, I'm sorry.
aisle.
So you have played it. The answer should have been yes. Not that I have.
Well, I think that
pins
was like
for it.
a weird, like physical games are better thing because I also have the game and it's sealed in cellophane, and I have the pins as well.
Technically, yes, I've played it. I've moved Mario around. I've gotten Luigi. I've seen that weird pig thing that's not a pig.
It's not a pig.
Nostrils.
Do not read
Nostrils
any of the
aren't-
dialogue. That's literally all
I
that
did.
thing's
The
dialogue.
nostrils aren't nostrils.
You
they're
read?
eyes.
Well, it's like it's all in caps. He like this. It's called Snoutlet.
Yeah.
But like his whole personality is that he's not a pig, even though he looks like a pig.
Okay.
Kind of looks like a piggy bank, honestly. Which I think that's what he's supposed to be. I don't know. I don't get the joke.
I've gotten to the little ship that you're on with the cannon, and I've shot myself out to the first island, and that's about it. I hit the save block right there, and that's all I've done so far. I did pick up Dragon Quest HD 2D 3 or Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. And
It's
I've
Dragon
pretty
Quest 3 HD 2D remake.
Yeah.
I
What's
know
so
that for
hard
a
about that crawler?
Yeah,
I know
it's
that
all-
for a
it's all
fact
right
because
there.
I had to, like, I did a video, I did a sponsored video for that game, and I had to say that name so many times because I kept screwing it up. It's super confusing. I don't know why they did that. They should have just called it like Dragon Quest 3 HD, you know? or
the
Dragon
Edric
Quest 3 remake,
game
something
or
like that.
but yeah, I've made a save file in that game. I have not.
You made a save file. Oh my god.
I've pretty much been playing Fortnite and Call of Duty and Halo. That's what I've been
Oh, Call of
playing.
Duty's so good.
It is.
I think Black Ops 6 is. I've been playing that a lot because it's just like turn your brain off, and I just honestly I played Nuketown 24/7. Like that's the playlist I put on. It's this cheesy. It's one map. You just play one map the whole time. It's just play Nuketown the whole time. And I've been having so much fun with
people
that.
are just farming for their camos. That's pretty much what
I got a gold camo. I do have one gold camo. And I think, all right, so the Game Awards just released their nominations, and Call of Duty Black Ops 6 got snubbed. It probably should have been Game of the Year, or part of Game of the Year.
Well, how much of the campaign have you played?
I haven't played the campaign yet, but...
So, I mean, that game is a whole package, so I mean, that's what's going to contribute.
What does it have on Metacritic?
I don't know. Yes. What I've played so far is enjoyable of the campaign. You kind of have this safe house, and you're on the run from the CIA, and you have a safe house, and I think you're in Russia. I don't even know, but you're going into Iraq and stuff because it's right around the first Gulf War. I just got to a mission where you set up a base camp in Iraq, and you're going around liberating like these camps and stuff, and the SAS are gonna help you out. So it's pretty cool.
It has an 83 on Metacritic, which is higher than Black Myth Wukong. That did get nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah. So what are the other review scores for Game of the Year? Since this is a review,
I did look
episode.
this up. So Astrobot was 94. Yeah, okay. Astrobot's a 94.
What's Balatro?
Balatro's a 90. And shout out to Balatro. They must listen to this show, or Jeff Keighley must listen to this show, because like Balatro getting nominated for Game of the Year is crazy to me.
Well, also like I feel like it was just a real happy moment for both of us because Animal Well and Balatro got nominated for Best Independent Game.
Animal Well actually has a higher Metacritic score than Balatro. It has a 91. When I saw Balatro there, I was surprised because they always do an indie game for Game of the Year.
Crown was going to get nominated for Game of the Year. It
was on Lost Crown.
It was on a lot of people's list early in the year. I think Metaphor Refantasio I think has like really come in and wowed a lot of people. I have not played it yet.
Metaphor has a 94. Black Myth Wukong, I know, had a very low one.
Metaphor's got all the Persona fanboys that aren't gonna go review bomb it or anything. So,
yeah, Black Myth Wukong is an 81. That's the lowest of them. Shadow of the Erd Tree, I think, was pretty. Yeah, mid-tier, Shadow of the Erd Tree is 94.
Oh wow, okay, it was higher than I thought.
So everything was in the 90s except for Black Myth Wukong.
But that was kind of the Zeitgeist game over the summer, right?
Well, I don't know. So it's kind of weird. It broke Steam records for being the highest or the most played single player game like ever at one time. And I honestly think it's because it's one of like the only games that China allows. Because when that first night when Black Myth came out, it was at like 2 million concurrent players, which is crazy. That's a lot. But then once like China was overnight, like in the middle of the night, it dropped way down. So the majority of the people were in China that played that game. So I was, and there's also some controversy behind it. Like their developers made some sexist comments and like, so I did not think it would get nominated. I don't know why it did. Why do you guys think it got nominated?
If I'm being honest, I don't know anything about this game other than I guess that controversy that you were talking about, and probably because you posted it or I saw, I don't know, someone talk about it, but I don't know anything about it.
Do you, do you think it's a message from legitimate outlet like Jeff Keighley to China to like keep promoting video games?
Possibly. I mean,
wasn't there another one this year or coming out soon from a big one from China?
I don't know about China, but there's that other one, that Stellar Blade, that was like controversial that came out.
Isn't that a Japanese? That's a Japanese game.
I think it's a Japanese one, but that one did not get nominated. A lot of people were.
I think it got soundtrack or something like it. It's on some list for something, but
I know a lot of people were talking about those two games. They didn't review extremely well. Like Wukong has an 81, and I think Stellar Blade's around the same. So it's not like they were the best of the best games that came out in the year. I think it got nominated because it broke that single player record on Steam.
I guess you're a fan of From Software, what's your take on the DLC getting nominated for Game of the Year?
It deserves it. It deserves it. I mean, I'm probably biased, but it is. The DLC is like 40 hours long. It's a long. It's a like they call it DLC, but it's essentially a new game.
It's a standalone thing.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, because
you have to beat two specific bosses in the main game to get there, but once you're there, it has its own leveling system that doesn't affect you going back to the base game.
I mean, they definitely changed the rules for that purpose. So Shadow of the Erdtree would get nominated for Game of the Year. A lot of people are not happy about it.
Why doesn't Game of the Year for Game Awards have two more games? Like, make it like the Oscars. Doesn't the Oscars have like
I have no
way
idea.
more movies for
You
Best
don't
Picture?
know?
I feel like it's 6 or 8 maybe.
But they have more in that category, the big category.
Yeah.
So like for Game of the Year, like add in what are the two games? Lost Crown and Zelda? Not Zelda. I don't know.
Man,
Zelda.
I mean, so Lost Crown was great, but we've talked about it on this show. Like, not a lot of people played it.
Well, no,
Well, they shut down the studio.
I know.
Ubisoft is about to get broken up by investors and sold to Microsoft, probably.
Yeah. So, did it get nominated for anything? I'm actually on the. website.
Lost Crown got something.
Best action game, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I think that game reviewed decently well. It's at an 86 on Metacritic. But yeah, not a lot of people played it. I don't think it even sold like 1 million copies. So it didn't really have an impact.
Lost Crown got innovation and accessibility.
I'm still not on Content Creator of the Year. It's a dang shame.
Maybe one day.
But I do think like the Game Awards do. Why can't I go to the next one?
Wait, Johnny, are you talking about the chip tonight or no?
Oh yeah. That's fine. I could do that.
Because I mean, that could get you on the Content Creator of the Year.
Action adventure for Lost Crown as well. You were right.
So it is official. I have an official date on when I'm gonna eat the chip. It is the night of the Game Awards. It's December 12th. Yeah, December 12th. I will be streaming. I will be on the Drip and G podcast channel, like I did last year, where we just kind of hung out for the whole Game Awards. But I will eat the chip on there.
Is that going to be archived?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so.
Okay, because honestly don't even know if I'm going to be able to watch the Game Awards this year.
Oh yeah, I wonder why. I think you should put them on in the hospital. I think you should have them on in the background.
You have a phone, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Just as she's giving birth, I'm watching Johnny eat a chip.
and I'll clip it out or like record it like separately so I have it as well. But yeah, Jeeb has been giving me crap because I've been giving him crap about the Sixers being 2-10 and
11-10 now.
11 and 10.
Sorry.
Wow, I hope so.
No.
How'd they play 9 games in the past night?
2-11.
2-11, yeah. So every time I say that, he says eat the chips. So it will be on that night. But the Game Awards do lend themselves into reviews because I think a lot of them, they're based off of how well they are reviewed. So, like the games that are nominated for Game of the Year, people are going to like check out these games to play them.
I mean,
like Crawler, what's your take on reviews? Like, do review scores matter?
I mean, like you guys were talking about last week, I think Metacritic has its virtue, but like you got to treat it like the Olympics, and you got to take out the Russian and the French judge. Like Nintendo Life, you just disregard their opinion because it's not very valid. And then you got to take some of those lower scores and mix it out. I wish you could take something and build. Maybe this is an idea for something to do. Take people that you feel like outlets that you trust and want to have, and build a Metacritic off of that in particular. But I think the best way, like you were talking about it, Cheesy, like find somebody that resonates with your opinion of games and that you resonate with how they feel, and if they're willing to play or buy it beforehand and you get to see it and get their impressions speak a whole lot more than a number. Like you asked me just off the cuff kind of what I thought of Jamboree, and like knee jerk is like, hey, it's all right, 8. Like, but like you can describe it a whole lot better if we just flush it out over like a 2 or 3 minute conversation. Like I enjoy some of the new stuff that they brought in, the fact that you can take out motion gaming if you don't want it, or if you want to do it, it's easy enough to add. The like the pro mode is kind of cool that you kind of know what your aspect is and you can go there. And I think the 120 something games are pretty fun, and some of the cerebral kind of attacks that you can have with some of those more involved puzzle games where you're trying to build something with like that bridge across the lava or on and off the switch for the coins and all that kind of stuff. Like they did a really good iteration, especially in comparison to some of the older iterations of Mario Party. So I think Jamboree is probably the best showcase of Mario Party on the Switch. Is that maybe necessarily mean it's the best Mario Party overall? It's kind of up to people's opinion, but I think it's a good spot to be if you want to play it. But like that gives a lot better context than just an 8. Like, so people that immediately scroll to the bottom of the IGN score or flock to Metacritic on the day it comes out, which doesn't have, I mean, a whole lot of added context to it, I think can skew stuff. I think Logan at IGN is the one that did the review, and he's not a contractor. I know Johnny was talking about that a little bit. I think he used to be, but now I think he manages the database, and he's a regular on the Nintendo podcast that they have at IGN. So he's well versed with his Nintendo stuff, but his opinion on Brothership, I think, was the outlier, and I think IGN took advantage of that outlying thing and definitely went and posted it more often, like you guys were talking about, probably for the viral clickbaitness of it. So they took advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess something that I didn't think about that we didn't talk about last week, but you were talking about like Mario Party Jamboree. When you have a series of games, and like I could think back to, like Mario Party 2 maybe has a pretty good review score, and then Mario Party 3, because that was one of the GameCube games. Like the GameCube Mario parties are pretty good, but those are what 20 years old at this point, maybe older.
Yep.
And so, is it fair to compare the new game to like some of the older games in the series because of a review score that it got?
Well, the fact that they still are using the boards from Mario Party 2, I mean, speak volumes to
Yeah,
that.
true.
But, I mean, you would hope for games being iterated on, and I feel like it has been. Super Mario Party did not, and Superstars was just kind of a reliving of the glory days kind of deal. So this, I think, was, and this is what Josh and I talked about after playing it at where'd we go?
PAX.
PAX.
Axe.
It was a good marrying of the two, the nostalgia pull from Superstars and trying to make something kind of new that they fell short on with Super Mario Party, and the biggest thing that they missed with Super Mario Party was their online iteration, and I think they improved upon that with Superstars and were able to implement that. I think I wish they were able to do a little bit more with the online stuff, especially with like the Koopathlon stuff, with only being able to do, is it 4 or 8 on your friends list? Otherwise it's with random people. So I wish they would have found a cool way to kind of make just a Jackbox type lobby where you just join in and it just works.
Mhm.
But maybe
you can't have 20 friends in a lobby. So you can't do, is that the Koopathlon?
Mhm.
The 20 one?
Yep.
Yeah, so you could have eight friends and then the rest are just bots. I don't think you even play random with other randoms online. I think it's just bots.
No, I think it's people.
When you have 8.
I really
When
No,
you
no,
are
no,
doing
I-
a friend
I've-
lobby, I think it's just bots.
no, because it's ranked. You have a rank.
Yeah, but I don't think when you are in a friend lobby, you play with other people online. I think it's just bots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The other 12.
Yeah, so you
or
can't
whatever,
you can't do you could do 8 and 12 or 4 and
But if
16.
you want 20 people, it's your
it's random
solo
online.
game type, and that's
Yeah.
it.
The thing about like Mario Party and like Nintendo games in general, which I do think Super Mario Party Jamboree is probably the best Mario Party that we've had in a long time, with the different the modes. Like the Koopathlon is interesting. I do wish they had better online for it. And then the other one where you're fighting the imposter Bowser. I forget what that.
Imposter Bowser. Yeah, I forget what it's I forget what it's called, but yeah.
But like those are good additions to Mario Party. The standard Mario Party is there, and that's what you expect. These a board game with mini games. That's what Mario Party is. The mini games are good in this one. You don't have
they
to
even
do.
found a good way to do just a bite-sized version of mini games as well. You can go to that mini game island and you can do a best of 3 on the mini games that's random and for the day.
Yeah,
It
I just
changes
don't.
every day. And there's actually 3 different options throughout the day for that too.
I just don't think for Mario Party and then probably other Nintendo games that are more like party games, I don't think people care about reviews, right? Like they know they're going to buy a Mario Party. They know sort of what they're getting. Like they know it's going to have a board. It's going to have mini games. It might have some new modes. It has the characters they like. Same with like Mario Kart. They don't care what it is. They just want to play Mario Kart. Like the next Mario Kart could get a 2 out of 10, which I doubt it will. And it will still sell 50 million copies. Yeah, I don't think reviews matter that much. Because all right, here's Astrobot nominated for Game of the Year, 94 on Metacritic. Everybody loves that game, and it sold 1.5 million copies, which
It'll sell some more now.
It will sell more now, but as a first-party PlayStation game, where PlayStation has 50, 60 million of an install base, that seems low to me.
Yep.
So people don't really care that it got such a high score. Like that's not selling people on buying this
Well,
game, or
it's-
as many people.
It's gonna beat Nintendo in Nintendo's unofficial category.
Yeah, unless
the
Zelda,
Game
Zelda
Awards.
might win that. The only thing I think Zelda might win that one, because Astrobot might win Game of the Year, so they'll give
Because what does
Legend
the
of Zelda.
fan vote matter? Does anybody know what the math is? There fine print on the?
I think it's like
Game
10%,
Awards?
isn't it?
Okay, so it matters more to the critics then.
I think it. Hold on, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
The true fan vote one is the one that gets live voted on during the show. But I think
All
there's
right,
some,
here I'm on the
I think there's
FAQs
some
and it
bracket
says
stuff that leads up to
it
it.
says why don't fans 100% select the winners? Creating a 100% fan vote presents several challenges. First, given that some games are exclusive to one platform, a public vote puts single-platform games at an inherent disadvantage over multi-platform game titles. In addition, it is important that winners cannot be socially engineered in any way. We find that a blended vote is most credible and authentic way to select winners. I mean, it's all subjective, right? Like there's a jury. Those juries have preferences and biases. Like it's nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Oh, okay. It is 10% fan voting. I don't
Yeah.
think Metroid Prime 4 is going
right
to
there
win
next
most
to it.
anticipated game either.
That's gonna
In
go to
China,
Grand Theft
fans
Auto,
can
right?
vote on the winners via. Oh, that must be just another website.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think games like party games from Nintendo really matter too much. Now, there are rumors that Mario and Luigi Brothership is not selling well. Like it's tracking behind Paper Mario in the UK.
Is it even tracking maybe behind an even older game with Super Mario RPG?
Well, I mean, if it's tracking behind Paper Mario, it's definitely tracking behind Super Mario RPG because that sold like 3.5 million. Now, I'm sure there's multiple factors that go into that, but I don't think the 5 from IGN is helping matters. Like
Yeah, because how much did Origami King sell? Because that's an original Paper Mario game.
Yeah, that's
Not
like
comparing it to like
3
Super Mario RPG. That's a remake, and Thousand Year Door is a remake, which that didn't sell very well.
hold on, I'm checking it.
The water looks good
3.47
there.
million copies.
The water does look good in Origami King.
Yeah, so it's
sold
sold about
3 million?
3.5 million.
What's the review score on it? Go to what did IGN give it? Just because I'm curious. Because
we should have done research before this.
No, all on the cuff.
Let's see.
7 out of 10, I think, is what I saw.
So I mean, like, I don't know.
And Thousand Year Door got a 9 out of 10.
I think it's hard to tell because we haven't had a Mario and Luigi game in how many years? The last one was Bowser's Inside Story.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
it probably should have been a red flag that the company that made the Mario and Luigi games, which, you know, it's never good for a developer to shut down, but they shuttered. Like, it's probably not that, doesn't sell that well. Also, like, there's other factors, right? Like, Nintendo released 3 Mario RPGs in a year. People probably are like, okay, I don't need to play that.
Yeah, and this is my first iteration of playing any iteration of the Mario and Luigi specific series. I haven't played Inside Story. I haven't played. What are there? 2 other
Same.
games? Of the
Yeah,
Mario?
Partners in Time.
Mainly because that was
Saga.
DS and 3DS games. I wasn't big on my. I didn't play a ton of games on my 3DS, so. But I know, like a 7 is. A 5 is so egregious, I think, in this day and age, and I know you guys were talking about Starfield a little bit last week, and Dan Stapleton, who, since we're talking about IGN so much, Dan Stapleton is like their main, he's the review editor. So like all of the reviews come across his desk or Tom Marks. I think Tom Marks is I think he's either a co-editor or like the associate editor. So like they all review it and they approve it. Dan Stapleton did the review for Starfield. And I think that one was a 7 as well.
Mhm.
But like, I think when he came on to the Xbox show on IGN, he talked about it a little bit, and it's like they don't review everything like they used to back in the day. There's the games out there that got 2s and 1s and all sorts of bad scores, but like anything below a 7 is viewed as like almost a failure in the public's eyes. And I don't know how creators feel when their game gets something like that, but like especially if you're in the AAA space, a Bethesda or Nintendo. Like Nintendo has obviously their A team and then their subcontractors and stuff as well. But Nintendo specifically tries to make it a point that they're the ones putting it out, and it's more on the publisher versus the developer per se when it comes to Nintendo. And I feel like when a score gets that bad of a score, it's viewed that much worse than 5 could be viewed in the middle of the road, but it's not in terms like, and that's why IGN and a lot of other places don't put perfection on a 10. They call it like a masterpiece or something like that, because nothing is truly perfect, but also kind of those word associations with each of their scores, so that it has kind of an understanding that 8, 9, and like 7, 8, and 9 can still be good, but the public doesn't view it that way. So a 5, I'm sure there were meetings and discussions about Brothership, and the reviewer had to really defend their position on it for that to get through an editor process where they were going to critique it and make sure that they were confident in their score, probably knowing what kind of blowback they were going to get.
So Noah, this guy in Discord, he had a good point. He said, I think the biggest problem with the review scores on a 10-point scale is we generally compare it to grades at school. We spend 12 years of our lives saying that below 70 is failing, but for reviews, a lot of sites, a 5 is average. It's hard to disconnect 12 years of indoctrination. And I do agree. I know, like IGN, they always say like, oh, there's a 7 is, I think, technically good on their scale.
8 is great, I think. I don't remember what 9 is.
9's amazing, 8's good or great.
Yeah.
But a lot of
7
people,
is good.
I mean, I fall into this trap too. When I see a 5 for a game, I'm like, well, that's not good. Like, that's not going to be a good game.
Especially $60-$70. Like, that's...
Yeah. When you're spending this kind of money, and, you know, with the state of the world that we're in, the economy, and, like, people can't just buy every single game that comes out. And they use a lot of things to dictate their purchase, and review scores are a big aspect of that. Even if it's a series they love. So like maybe people love Mario and Luigi, but then they saw it got 5 out of 10 on IGN. And they're like, well, you know, I could probably skip it. And also, I think
I love Star Wars, but I have not touched Outlaw. I haven't bought Outlaws. I want to, but like Ubisoft has done enough proving to me that I can probably pick this up here in a couple weeks, in like 2 weeks or a week next week for super duper. It's already on sale. I think I saw it last night on Xbox, like 25% off, but I can probably get it bigger discount even digitally, which physically next week for sure Outlaws is going to be in the bargain bin probably for $20 if you want to get it. But and they're doing stuff on that game. They're putting out a big update next week, I think, or this week, I think later this week, that's gonna fix a lot of the stealth stuff, but it hasn't reviewed well. I think it reviewed okay, but it hasn't like gotten a lot of public excited about it.
Ubisoft has like that stink on them right now.
Yeah.
You know, everything they touch is they're
So,
the opposite.
but
they're the opposite.
in that case, like the review score wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it
then,
wouldn't matter
because
like,
of yeah.
Like they're the
Ubisoft
opposite
has
of
painted
King
themselves in that
Midas.
corner where it's just like the public is conditioned to wait.
King Poopus will
And-
turn everything to poop.
And I mean, I got Lost Crown, I think, for 30 bucks maybe. I think like less than a month after it came out. I have it physically, and I haven't sat down and finished it yet.
Yeah, another example of review scores not mattering for Ubisoft games because that game reviewed very well.
Mm-hmm.
And it just did not
demoed really well. I played it at PAX the year before last.
This is off topic, not about review scores, but do you think there is Nintendo Switch fatigue?
I wasn't going to be the Johnny in the room. I do think part of Mario and Luigi not selling well is not even Switch fatigue. I think it's Nintendo. Like, it is amazing how they did pump the brakes. Like, they had everything going for them, especially after the Mario movie. It just felt like having the Mario movie was so big for them. Having the theme park was so big for them. All of these collabs that they have been doing. The Switch era has been wonderful. And then, like, all of it has just come to a stop. Yeah, they have put out some games this year, but like what the family games, Peach was enjoyable for like what it was, but not like a masterpiece or anything like that.
My daughters enjoyed it.
I found some charm in it, but it's not like one that I will always rave about. Echoes of Wisdom I thought was pretty fun. Not my kind of Zelda game, but I do like that they tried something different, and there were times where I was like more frustrated than enjoying it. It was just different, and that was just something that you had to get used to.
I was a defender of like classic Zelda, and then Echoes of Wisdom. I think I posted in our chat like after I beat the game. It's like Johnny might be right, and 3D open Zelda is kind of just
Crawler,
I feel like I'm the most positive.
We gotta
on this
stop.
game.
We gotta stop. There's so much ego that is being
everybody's
built.
starting to realize. Wait a second, he's been right this whole time.
But like, I cruised through that game in like when did I post that I finished the game? I think I was the first of the four of us to finish the game.
I mean, I didn't finish it yet. I'm almost there, but I didn't finish it.
But like, I powered through it in like a week. And I was kind of like, I could go back and I could turn up the difficulty, but like, it does the classic Zelda thing. I had done a lot of the side missions, I feel like, but I probably have a decent amount that I could go back and do. But I took it out and I gave it to my son. I let him play it. I don't know even where he's at with that. He's just been kind of playing Fortnite. But yeah, it's like I did it, but playing Tears of the Kingdom, like that lasted a whole lot longer. There's a whole lot more to go out there and discover. So that 2D magic, I feel like is it's a flash in the pan compared to kind of the 2, 3, 4 months that you can get really great enjoyment, pure content that you might not even see online. The clips that you get just out of, I saw something new just today that said they found like a new traversal thing with swords and like shields and rockets and stuff like that in Tears of the King, or in Tears of the Kingdom.
I do think Tears of the Kingdom, that came out last May, right? That was like the end, right? Like that was the
swan song.
The swan song. And then I don't know if there's like,
it's been on life support since.
Yeah, I don't know if there's been like delays or what, or if they're just trying to milk it or what they're doing. But like this year, yeah, the games that came out were fine, but there was nothing that was Tears of the Kingdom special or, like Animal Crossing, Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Is it a play to unthrone PS2?
I mean, they'll get there, right? They're going to get there no matter what. PS2 took how many years? I actually saw a breakdown of where the Switch was hitting its milestones versus where the PS2 was hitting its milestones, and the Switch is like 2 years ahead of it right now. So it will catch it, I think, even after the Switch 2 comes out or whatever the next console comes out.
Well, Switch successor is going to be backwards compatible. PlayStation 3 was not.
It was.
It was.
Well, the big
initially,
one, the fat one was.
But it was only a small window. I got
$600 one was.
Yeah, get a second job one. I got mine fairly early on. I feel like, but it was not a backwards compatible one. So it's like, it was a flash in the pan that backwards compatibility only lasted so long. So if you got a PS3 and your PS2 crapped out and you had a whole library, you maybe went and bought another PS2. Like I don't know how many 360s I bought, but that was partly due to Red Ring of Death. I had a random
I didn't buy 6 PS2s.
Ghost disc tray that would just randomly eject, and I was trying to beat Call of Duty 2 on Veteran, and the game would randomly the disc tray would just eject, and I was having to just bank on saves, like random auto saves, like to get me through that game. But then I ended up I think I had 3 or 4 Xbox 360s by the time it was done. I'd obviously traded in some, and that was a help to get an Xbox One, as well as I had to buy a power supply, but I took them to Best Buy was offering decent trade-in credit, and I gave them 2 360s, and both of them weren't that great, and I got them out of my house, and I got a discount on my Xbox One, so that was good.
I also wonder if there was supposed to be something this year that missed, like Metroid Prime 4. I'm thinking Metroid Prime 4 was probably supposed to come this year, and then it just missed it.
That was supposed to come out 2019.
Yeah, they probably also were hoping for a Pokemon game to come out this year, which didn't.
It did. Yeah. It's on your phone.
Well, yeah, which is doing super well. $12 million in 3 days or 4 days, whatever it was, and I'm half of that.
I think to answer your question, Johnny, if Brothership came out in let's say the middle of the Switch era, I think even with a 5 from IGN, people would still go out and buy that game for the content to see if it really was that bad. But now that we kind of there's not a lot of talk around Nintendo or the Switch right now. It doesn't really, I hate saying it, it doesn't have to be for content for you to buy a game, but that is what the Switch era was.
Yeah. I'm excited for Xenoblade. That's going to be the true swan song, I think.
Yeah, but I mentioned that last week.
That's also just a way to put all of them on my Switch.
Yeah, it is cool that the whole series is going to be on one console.
Would you call that as a swan song, though, if it's a remake?
It's more like
It's not even a remake. It's a
trip over the finish line.
It's an up-res. It's a save as. I mean, that game was also touted by its creator as a game that was too difficult to make it onto the Switch. So it's a marvel at what Monolith Soft can do, and I think they are the true innovators for what is under the hood for Nintendo, because they make Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom work well.
They do Splatoon
in partnership, and just the sheer scope of what they put on an Android tablet from 2015 is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you mean content for content creators?
Yes.
I mean, that's not who is mainly buying these games.
No, but I think it does help.
I just don't know how influential they would have been with them, because like games were selling no matter what. Like they were just putting crap on crap.
Yeah, you sold 10 million
Yeah.
copies if you put out a.
So
like
why
1-2 Switch
didn't,
sold 3.5
why didn't Mario
million
and
copies.
Luigi sell well then?
Because everybody's over the Switch.
Well, they're just waiting. They're waiting.
Yeah. Which so
That's what
you know,
I'm saying. Is if it came out in the middle of the like Switch era, I think they would have bought it no matter what, because
Yeah.
either for content or just because it was Nintendo, like people were just wanting to discover what was being put out on the Switch.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
people are just, like Crawler said, waiting for the next thing. Like,
I think in general, this year is kind of a weird year. Looking at like Game of the Year,
Yeah.
I own 4 of these games. I've played, I platinumed one of them. I've played a decent amount of Balatro. I own Final Fantasy Rebirth. I have not touched it yet, and I did a little bit of Erdtree. I need to actually sit down and like buckle in for that and
So-
do it.
What part of that is like weird for you?
It's I feel like it's a we're waiting year. Like we're waiting for Grand Theft Auto. We're waiting for Sony barely put anything out this year.
Mhm.
We're waiting on what is their next big thing from Sony?
Probably Wolverine, right?
That's a ways off.
yeah, I don't think
still.
that's.
Really?
Oh man, I don't even know. Oh, Ghost of Yote.
Oh yeah. Okay, that'll be
Or
next
Death
year.
Stranding?
Yeah,
I think
but
that's
is-
still
is-
that's
is
still
Death Stranding
far.
exclusive, or is that
I thought it was. Was it? Is it
because
not?
Death Stranding came?
Well, now it came to Xbox, the first one.
Yeah,
So the Death Stranding 2 is slated for next year. I don't know. I feel like we say this every year. I don't know why we say this every year, but it's like, oh, they're waiting for the next year. And then the next year comes, it's like, oh, they're waiting for the next year.
Well,
yeah,
hold on.
we're-
Are you
we're
talking about
especially
just
gonna-
for
we're
the
especially
Switch?
going to say that if
No, just
if,
for everything. Like,
if Grand Theft Auto gets delayed, then we're definitely be like, oh, we're waiting for next year.
like last year, we're like, oh, next year's gonna be better. They're gonna have more stuff next year. Like everybody thought for the Nintendo that they were gonna have the Switch 2 in 2024.
Last year was a good year though.
It had, well, we had
It had-
Tears of the Kingdom.
It had Tears of the Kingdom. It had
We had Baldur's
was it
Gate.
Ragnarok last year.
No, Ragnarok was 22.
Oh, jeez. Time's a flat circle, right?
Yeah, no, but we had Baldur's Gate. We had Tears of the
Yeah,
Kingdom.
Baldur's Gate won Game of the Year. Which that kind of came out and really, because everyone was giving it to Tears of the Kingdom as their year to lose it, and then they lost it. But it was
then,
something.
Apparently,
innovative.
only 14% of people have played Baldur's Gate.
Oh, Super
have
Mario
finished
Bros.
it-
Wonder
have
came out
finished
last
it.
year. I forgot about that.
Johnny and I both started it and haven't finished it. So
I don't think I've even started that game. I bought it like,
you bought Baldur's Gate and haven't played it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Because I think I bought it. Oh yeah, a Sparking Zero. I'm not gonna play Sparking Zero now because it's not
Did you buy
nominated for Game of the Year. I did buy it.
Are you even a big Dragon Ball fan?
I liked the fighting games growing up, the Dragon Ball fighting games. That's why I got it. Oh, there was Spider-Man 2 was last year as well. So yeah, last year was pretty good.
Yeah, last year was the best
Comparatively.
year since 2017. I feel like
There's Alan Wake 2.
that.
Yeah, I mean,
that
last year was
got
pretty
a
good.
lot of love from everyone that did play it. Like,
And Starfield did
I think
come
it
out
rubbed-
last year. So that's,
Alan Wake rubbed a few people the wrong way because it was a digital release only. It was like a big AAA digital release only. Even though what the stats on how many people actually buy physical, and if you have half these consoles, you can't even play them physical anymore.
as you
So-
pay $80.
Yeah. Is there even an option for that for Xbox if you have a One S?
No, there's not an external. No. Remember they had an external
Well, they had an external for
DVD player?
the HD DVD.
Yeah.
I wonder how
Extra
much that's worth now. A dead technology.
Stupid. That and the Kinect. Man, Xbox is dead. Like Xbox is dead. Their marketing is so weird right now, where they're like everything's an Xbox.
I think they still have reports on a handheld console.
Well,
that
but
they're
then
making.
they in that marketing that Johnny just mentioned, they have like a rogue ally sitting in there.
Yeah.
That's like, this is an Xbox.
Cloud
It's like,
gaming.
eh.
Ugh, cloud gaming. Get out of here. Like you can't download the games on your Rogue Ally. You can't download the games on your Amazon Fire Stick. Like you have to play cloud streaming.
Yeah, I tried playing on
They're lost right now. Like
I
Xbox
bought a new
is,
Fire Stick and it did not play well. Even in my house, like on my internet, it did not play that great.
yeah, Xbox is lost right now. It's like a 2-horse race, and without Xbox or without another competitor for Sony just kind of kicks back for a while. Like they're not releasing anything that great.
So I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit last week, but does brand matter when it comes to like your decision in purchase over a review score? Because we've talked a lot tonight about like certain brands where the review score doesn't matter, but then there's other brands where it's like, or a series that you really like, that the review score could be really bad, but you're like, I don't care, I'm still gonna play it.
I bought
buy
my 2
things-
Switch.
I was gonna say I buy things for my Switch. I buy things for my Switch to add to my collection. I feel like Xbox. I haven't bought a game on Xbox in a while, but I give them
$20 a month.
or whatever that is. Yeah. I mean, I got to play. I got to try it out. I haven't gone back to it a little bit, but I got to play Metal Slug Tactics or whatever because that was just there on day one. So like that's cool, and like that's almost something that it's the Google search if it's like something that I'm wanting to play on Switch or something like that, and I do a quick check to see if it's on Game Pass before I go buy it, especially digitally.
It's better
Like,
on Switch.
Like the I want to buy the Tetris game. I don't even know if that came out physically. That just came out, but it's like
I don't know. It's on
like
Switch for
it's
sure.
like the Atari 50. But the Tetris one that looks cool. But then PlayStation, it's like I bought Final Fantasy and I bought Astrobot this year, and I bought Erdtree. I feel like that's it.
For brand specific, or I guess developers specifically, Nintendo, I buy everything first party essentially. I can't remember a Nintendo game on the Switch at least that I haven't purchased. There might be one or two, but I don't know. Oh, like Miitopia, I didn't buy.
I didn't buy that either. So to answer your question, brand. It probably is brand.
Oh, but
Over review.
Yeah, because I have 2 games that I bought the last 2 weeks, and I haven't like played either of them. I've played the hardest thing, regardless of review score, is all these new games. Ubisoft is dealing with this. All the big games like Astrobot probably like they're fighting against the freemium game, where I have Fortnite and I have the monthly pass, and that's what my son's playing. And if we want to play together, then that's the easy thing to do. Halo, I'll buy the pass for $50, or I have money just on my account, so it's like put in the 500 coins or whatever to get the pass, and I just work through that, and I can go back and do that whenever, as long as I have the pass. And Call of Duty's on Game Pass now, so it's like that's just there, and
I put money. I put money into that.
Warzone,
already.
and so I mean, they're fighting against these games that are already installed on your system and are updating and having new stuff. And this time of year, I feel like Fortnite's playing back into it with like the nostalgia play.
Yeah.
They're doing all the reloaded stuff, which I feel like they did that. I think at this time of the year last year they did.
Yeah, but now it's going to be permanent, and Overwatch is doing
They're
the same
going to rotate
thing.
the maps too.
Overwatch is going
like
back to the OG.
when's Marvel coming out?
December.
What's the...
That one is gonna be. Yeah, that's interesting because they are releasing all the characters. Like that game has Marvel money or something because they're releasing all the characters. It's all free. I mean, they'll make their money on cosmetics and stuff, but all of the characters are free. Like none of those heroes.
Oh, they're just unlocked. You don't have to buy them.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to unlock them, but you don't have to buy them.
Okay.
It's like 33 characters, and games like that, like hero shooters, they never do that. And that has to be
they can expand that roster over time.
Yeah.
There's so
I'm
much
sure
to do.
they won't always be free, but the initial 33 characters are free. And yeah, I think that has Marvel money, so like there's no like they're just flexing that bag. But yeah, you're right. These games are, you have to, I don't know what the secret sauce is, but Nintendo figured it out. They could sell their games no matter what, even in this free to play space.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean,
a few of those games even on their console too. They have Fortnite,
yeah,
they have
Fortnite.
Overwatch, they have, yeah.
But if you see like these sales numbers, like I think Dragon Age isn't doing well, and that's a big budget game. And that reviewed pretty well.
Silent Hill just came out. I don't know how that did.
I think that one sold like my perception is skewed because I think that one sold like over 1 million copies. I think for a
horror game that's
good. For a remake of a horror game, like that's good. But like if the next God of War would sell 1 million copies, I'd be like, well, that's terrible. It flopped. Mm-hmm. Like even Spider-Man.
It's bad that Astrobot only sold 1.5.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, I think the brand, because we don't see new IP very often. We don't see new developers very often. And it's because sequels and remakes are selling over those.
Well, South of Midnight's coming out next year, I think, and that
yeah, and
I forgot
about that.
I'm excited for it, but I don't know if it's going to do that well, unfortunately.
I heard somebody's first-hand impressions, and it's not your kind of game because it's like you're there for the. They're like you're there for the story. So.
Oh really? I thought it was like a Souls-like. I thought the action was supposed to be good.
No, how I heard it described is like it's very corridored, and you get into a boss arena, and it opens up, and it's very telegraphed. And
I like the art style that it's going. It's like that stop motion art style is pretty cool. I am excited for that. I have Game Pass, so I'll just I'll play it when it comes to Game Pass. Even though I said I was canceling my Game Pass subscription, I'm not doing that anymore because I've been playing Call of Duty.
I said I was canceling my PlayStation thing when they upped it to 80, and then I forgot to do it, and then I got an email like over the summer. It's like, oh, you've been charged. I'm like, damn.
Exactly. We were talking about this too. Like these subscription services rely on people not canceling their subscription, just like a gym membership.
I canceled my TCG one already. It's done.
Wow, I'm proud of you.
I run through my 2 weeks, and then I'm
if
good.
If I wasn't making money off the game, I don't know if I would put money into the game, let's be honest. But but it does help that I am supplementing it. Like I wouldn't recommend doing what I'm doing. Like I'm pretty much
you did a full $100.
Yeah, I did $100 pack opening. I reached the max. That's the max you could spend in a day, like $100.
Yeah, they cut you off. They cut off the flow of heroin into your blood.
They said no, cut that guy off. No more. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it unless you could make money off of it, like I am. I don't know. We're over an hour. I don't know. This was a pretty random episode, but I enjoyed it. I don't think
so. I mean, I think it's still kind of related a lot to reviews and especially with the Game Awards coming out or the nominations. I think it has to lend some kind of conversation around those games.
So to close us out, since we know the Game of the Year nominees, I know it just came out, so this might change over the next couple of weeks, but what is your Game of the Year out of those 6? And Cheesy, I don't think you've played any of them, right?
Have you played
because
Balatro?
You haven't played Balatro.
Yeah, I haven't played Balatro either.
Loser.
So I honestly have no say. I will say, I guess, around the conversation, it's probably going to be Final Fantasy.
I don't think so. I don't.
You don't think so?
No,
I think
no,
that's
no.
the third. I think that's the third lowest on like second from the bottom for a lot of people.
Also,
So
does
what
that
is
count
it?
as a remake?
It's no, because it's part 2 of a 3-part remake of a reimagining. It's I don't know, but what I heard is it's a little long in the tooth at the end. Like, but for me,
Is it DLC?
it's between two. Oh, you're talking about Erdtree being DLC?
Well, yeah, it is DLC. Like
Mhm.
I know you guys talked about that earlier, but like, is it possible that this is the year that we see a DLC become game of the year?
I think
Potentially, but I don't. My picks are different than what I think is going to win. My pick is either between Astrobot and Balatro, but I think Metaphor Refantasio is going to win.
a JRPG. Well, I guess
It is.
it
It's
is
recent.
Baldur's
It's the
Gate.
most. It's the most recency bias, and a lot of people have been playing it, and a lot of people have been. Persona 5 fans out there are going crazy for it. It's that same kind of stuff, and I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna do it.
I mean, I've played most of these games. I haven't played Final Fantasy or Black Myth Wukong. I don't think Black Myth has a chance. I don't know why that's even there. I
All those
really,
Chinese vote at 10%.
yeah, I mean, 10% of how many billion do they have? I really want it to be Balatro, but I don't think it would. I think that's just like your game's awesome, but you're probably.
I
not
know you
gonna
don't
win.
care about video game music, and I really want to talk about that topic sometime, maybe next week or down the road. But I am happy for you that you will get to hear the theme of Balatro in the Game Award.
I wonder what it's even gonna sound like. You haven't played Balatro, Crawler. You
No, I
played
haven't,
Balatro.
but I
It's
love
not
when
really.
they.
It's not really.
It's
I don't even know how they're gonna do it. That's what I am interested into seeing how they do it in an orchestra form, because it's not like.
I want to hear shuffle noises.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know how to explain what it is, because it's not like lo-fi music or anything. It's, well, I guess it is lo-fi, but it's
lo-fi. Yeah,
it's very subtle, but I guess they did it with Breath of Wild, so I don't know. I am interested to hear what it sounds like, because I know what the game sounds like, and it's like I don't see how that's going to be an orchestra thing. I would really.
Do you think Balatro takes mobile game? I don't think of
I
that
think
game as a mobile
Pokemon
game.
takes it.
I think Pokemon does too. I was listening to Kind of Funny today, and they're like, "I think Balatro wins," and I was like,
I mean,
don't think of
Balatro
that as a mobile game.
outside of our circle, like Balatro was very big. Like it was huge on Twitch for a while. So, and I think it was the top paid app on the App Store when it came out.
Oh, it was you had to pay to.
Yeah, it's like $10, but I also
guess.
think it was in Apple Arcade.
Mhm.
I mean, I would love Balatro to get all the praise it deserves. I don't think it will get Game of the Year. It might get mobile game, depending on Pokemon TCG. I'll be happy with either of those. Shadow of the Erdtree, I think, is phenomenal. I think it deserves the nom. If it does win, the internet might blow up. Like it might just be set on fire.
Well, I mean, why start now?
Yeah, I would love to see what would happen. You want to talk about music, man? From Software got some good music in their games.
I mean, that's the best part of the Game Awards, is when you get to hear the orchestra play all the music for the nominated Game of the Year.
I honestly think Astrobot will win it.
Really?
I think it's the. I don't know. I think it's just like everybody when you see it, you understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Metaphor, like, I think it's a good game. Like, I haven't played a ton of it, but I think it's definitely
recency bias is going to play a part.
But it's a JRPG. Was Baldur's Gate a JRPG? Is that a?
It was It's a Western
It's a
RPG.
Western
It's
RPG.
a dungeon. It's a Dungeons and Dragons like. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
I mean, I would like to see some JRPGs get some more love, and I guess Final Fantasy is in that boat too. A lot of people are not happy that Persona 3 Reload wasn't nominated.
That's not a game that would be game of the year, really.
Yeah, people love that game, but they probably didn't want to have both.
That's a remake.
Yeah, well, they said remakes.
That's like
they said remakes could be in there, and then they didn't put a remake in there.
That's just it's an HDified. They didn't redo anything on that, did they?
I think they added content.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but I know people wanted that one. I know people wanted Silent Hill, which didn't get nominated either. But yeah,
they should expand the game of the year category to be 8 games and not 6.
Yeah, actually, this year these nominations have been because I enjoyed everything that I played of the ones that I played. I mean, Balatro is my most played game this year, so and I bought it like 4 times.
Is it winning indie? Is that a lock?
I think Animal Well wins that, which would be weird. I don't know. I want it to win everything that it's nominated for.
I think it win. No, I think Balatro wins indie.
I think so too.
I mean, Animal Well was hyped up when it because it was just a shadow drop, right? Like a day or two after, or no, not really. But we didn't have a release date, and then all of a sudden it was out after a direct, right?
Think so.
A day or two after.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know a lot of people don't like the Game Awards, and we talked about this last year, but
yeah,
I always think it's fun.
Maybe we'll revisit it.
Yeah, we might revisit it. But all right, we are
2 hours in now.
No, we're not 2 hours in. We're an hour and 10 minutes pretty much. But yeah, thanks for being on, Crawler. It was good to talk to you again after such a long hiatus. Mm-hmm. Tell the people where they can find you.
I guess the best spots are TikTok and Twitter, X, Twitter, the Blue Sky. I need to make my Blue Sky. NightCrawlr724, NightCrawlers without the E. But yeah, if we ever get back to doing Nintendo Powercast, you can follow me there. Follow Josh's stuff. Maybe we got something in the works. Who knows? We were supposed to
get 500 by December, but that's not happening now. Unless we just bulk record a ton of them. Cheesy.
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads. I guess if you want to follow me on Hive, if that's a thing, you can follow me. Do you guys remember Ello or Feed? That was
We're going back to MySpace. We're going back to MySpace. Yeah. Let's go.
MySpace. I don't know. I'm still on these social platforms, just not as much right now. It's, I think, better for me. There's a lot of other things that I'm focusing on and looking forward to. So I'm on there, but not as much as I used to be. But you can find me at CheezyC64, CheezyC64.
I'm John Ebo everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Nintendo Powercast when we do come back.
Crawler, you got any closing thoughts for us?
I think one of the ones I said last time is you own your stuff doesn't own you. But I think kind of on topic with this is don't let the big media tell you what you want. Find what you want and own your own stuff there.
Bo Nix MVP.